Welcome to this video tutorial on the Equity-Minded Syllabus Review. Material for this video was taken in part from the Center for Urban Education, USC Rosier School of Education, known as CUE. Fresno City College enjoyed a 2-year partnership with CUE, out of which grew our Interdisciplinary Faculty Equity Lab, currently facilitated by me, Marianne Valentino. As part of that partnership, we have permission to use their copyrighted materials. By watching this video, you will be able to understand what the Equity-Minded Syllabus Review is, apply Equity-Minded Syllabus Review tools to your own syllabus, and integrate this information into practice and understand how the Syllabus Review tool can be used for equity-minded teaching, inquiry, and reflection. Let's begin by reviewing Fresno City College's definition of equity. Equity refers to the identification and removal of barriers that have prevented the full participation of historically marginalized and underrepresented student populations, with the goal of eliminating identified differences in outcomes between those populations and the student population as a whole. What's the purpose of the syllabus? Most of us have been taught that the syllabus is a contract between instructors and students. It's true that if a student complains to your dean about you, the dean is likely to look at your syllabus to see what that contract says. The syllabus is also a record of what the course covers and how student outcomes and performance are evaluated for accountability purposes. We don't often think about it, but the syllabus is also a very powerful learning tool to help students develop effective learning practices and strategies, as well as a communication device that shares how teaching will be approached. This is especially true for our first-generation college students. Faculty can take advantage of the opportunity to leverage the syllabus to support racial equity. You may be wondering what's required to be in our syllabus. Our accrediting body, the Accrediting Commission for Community and Junior Colleges, ACCJC, requires us to include our student learning outcomes. There's actually nothing in Title V, but our local administrative regulation does include some requirements. AR 7122 asserts that we must include our attendance, drop, and late work policies, the topics to be covered in the class, the major assignments with approximate due dates, and the grading scales and evaluation criteria for graded work and final semester grades. In order to provide more guidance and consistency, the Academic Senate approved a checklist, which includes a list of elements that the faculty deemed required, as well as some recommended elements. You can get this list from your dean or directly from the Academic Senate office. The equity-minded syllabus components described in this video are recommended by the Academic Senate. The Equity-Minded Syllabus Review provides the opportunity for structured inquiry into your teaching approach and practices that affect African American, Latinx, Native American, Southeast Asian, and other racially, ethnically minoritized students. Structured inquiry enables you to assess aspects of teaching reflected in your syllabus, such as goals, class norms and rules, expectations for and evaluations of student learning, and forms of assistance and support. As artifacts of practice that capture how you see the course, what you assume students should be able to accomplish, and what you will do to advance student learning, inquiry into syllabi has the potential to reveal the assumptions, attitudes, values, and beliefs that shape your teaching. In addition, the Equity-Minded Syllabus Review allows you to consider changes that result in more equitable teaching approaches and practices. There are 6 components of the Equity-Minded Syllabus Review: welcoming students and creating a classroom culture in which they feel cared for, demystifying college policies and practices, creating a partnership in which faculty and students work together to ensure success, validating students' ability to be successful, deconstructing and countering the presentation of whiteness as the norm, and representing a range of racial, ethnic experiences and backgrounds. I strongly encourage you to start with a personal welcome statement from you to your students. Use inclusive language and tone throughout the syllabus that helps students feel cared for and valued. Using the adverb please before directions can go a long way in softening the tone. Convey your willingness to work individually with students to help them be successful in your class. Here are 2 examples of small changes that can be made to the syllabus to increase its welcomeness. Regarding office hours, this instructor wrote, "I welcome you to contact me outside of class and student hours. You may email me, call my office, or contact the division and leave a message." Contrast this with the statement, "If you need to contact me outside of office hours, you may email me, call me, or contact the division and leave a message." It is a very simple and subtle difference that conveys warmth. Here's one more example. This instructor wrote, "All of us in the class, you, me, and your peers, have a responsibility to create an environment in which we can all learn from each other. I expect everyone to participate in class so that we can all benefit from the insights and experiences that each person brings." Contrast this with the statement, "Come prepared to actively participate in this course. This is the best way to engage you in learning the material and makes the lectures more interesting." I'll pause here to allow you to compare the 2. The world of higher education is steeped in acronyms, policies, procedures, and regulations. The jargon of education is new to most of our students. We can ease the transition to college by demystifying college policies and practices. The college unit is definitely one of those things that requires demystification. For years, my syllabus included one simple statement about the unit. This is an 18-week, 3-unit course, so the expectation is that you will work outside of class for about 6 hours each week. My latest version goes like this. The expectation for all of your college classes is that you will work for 2 hours outside of class for every hour spent in class. This out-of-class work can be reading, writing, going to tutoring or office hours, completing online quizzes or other homework, etc., depending on the requirements of the class. This is an 18-week, 3-unit class, so the expectation is that you will work outside of class for about 6 hours each week. I suggest that you keep a calendar of activities to structure your time. I have provided some suggestions on the last few pages of the syllabus to aid you in your quest for success. There are many ways to convey your desire to create a partnership with your students in the syllabus. The one thing that I've done and seen others do that I think can have a large impact in the tone of the syllabus is to simply use first and second person rather than third person pronouns where appropriate throughout your document. This is as simple as replacing the word students with the word you and replacing the word instructor with the word I or me. Let's compare. Students are expected to attend class regularly. Students should contact the instructor if they miss class. With, I expect you to attend class regularly. Please contact me if you need to miss class. Changing the pronouns is a simple first step to creating a partnership. Students need to know that you believe they are capable of achieving their educational goals. This attitude starts with the syllabus and needs to be infused in all interactions with students. Here's one example of validating from my syllabus. You bring a wealth of knowledge, experience, and perspective to class. Your participation is valuable to your learning, as well as to the learning of your classmates and to my growth as an instructor at Fresno City College. Therefore, it is important to all of us that we all come to class prepared and on time. This will make the learning experience much more meaningful for everyone and contribute to everyone's successful completion of the course. In order to communicate the value of students' racial, ethnic backgrounds as sources of learning and knowledge, students need to see themselves reflected in your course. The syllabus review provides you an opportunity to take a good look at your assignments, readings, and other materials to assess this. One colleague realized that all of his guest speakers were white men, even though most of his students were Latinx. Another colleague realized that the images used in most of her readings and videos were white. Once these oversights in their curriculum were identified, they were able to come up with strategies to remedy these in order to increase the representation of their students in their class experience. For my syllabus, I include quotes with photos of various psychologists. Deconstructing and countering the presentation of whiteness as the norm promotes awareness and critical examination of social inequities, privilege, and dominant racialized norms. In my syllabus, I include the photos of psychologists to increase the representation of my students' identities, but I also selected their quotes to address this component. Former APA President Dr. Vasquez said, "Although psychology has not been immune to the application of psychological knowledge in destructive ways, overall psychology, many psychologists, and APA have demonstrated a commitment to social justice." And former APA President Clark stated, "The essence of the human predicament is the inescapable reality that the human ego is a most fragile and delicate phenomenon. It is difficult, if not impossible, to be human without embarrassment." With this, my students see that a black man was the APA president in 1971. The field of psychology is often perceived as a white person's discipline. Research also indicates that men of color are less likely to ask for help because asking for help is viewed as a sign of weakness. It is my hope that this quote speaks to them and gives them permission to be vulnerable. The most valuable exercise that I have engaged in with a colleague is the syllabus exchange. Find a colleague to exchange syllabi with. Read each other's syllabus with these questions in mind. Which of the 6 components of an equity-minded syllabus are generally present and which are generally absent? Imagine you are a first-generation student from a racially minoritized group reading the syllabus on the first day or before the first day of class. Do you feel that the instructor is willing to provide opportunities and resources for you to do well in the class? Why or why not? Do you feel that the instructor assumes that you want to learn and cares for students' development as scholars and human beings? Why or why not? Do you feel the instructor and the course speak to your experiences? Do you feel like the instructor is an advocate for racial equity? This exercise should take quite a bit of your time as you carefully read the syllabus from the student's perspective. Take notes as you read, then arrange a debriefing with your colleague. I have been doing this with Dr. Ray Ramirez, Director of Student Equity and Success, who is also an adjunct instructor at FCC for many years now. Each year, we learn from each other and improve our syllabi. For more information about the Interdisciplinary Faculty Equity Lab, which we call IFEL, or anything else in this video, including a list of references, please feel free to contact Dr. Ray Ramirez, Director of Student Equity and Success, or me, Dr. Marianne Valentino, Psychology Instructor. The Equity-Minded Syllabus Review is a process. Thank you for choosing this video. I wish you well in your teaching and learning journey.